Guys, I have been mind blown by ChatGPT. It is the best AI I've ever used, and it's already changing the world by writing books that are being sold on Amazon, creating super popular tweets for influencers, and even writing and passing university exams. So, I decided to push it to the limits and find the top 10 best things you can do with it that'll change your life. So, to get started, open your browser and head on over to chat.openai.com. It'll ask you to sign up, so just pop in your details, and then you're pretty much good to go. One of the first powerful things you've got to do with it is ask it to summarize things. For example, if you have a web link to a super long article that you don't necessarily want to spend your time reading, you can go ahead and copy that link and then hop into ChatGPT and actually ask it to summarize this article for you in one sentence. Then just paste the link and watch the magic happen as ChatGPT does an incredible job at summarizing what would have been a fairly long article to read into a couple of sentences that you can read in seconds. But what really blew my mind is that you can ask it to summarize YouTube videos. This is really useful, especially when the videos are long, like this podcast, which was 1 hour and 12 minutes. All you do is select the link, hit that copy button, and once again in ChatGPT, ask it to summarize this video. Then paste the link, but, importantly, head on back to the YouTube video and also copy the title. Then paste that title just below the link. It's not gonna lie, without using the title you can sometimes get some mixed results. But once again, instantly it gives you a summary of what was actually in the video without having to spend 1 hour and 12 minutes. Where things get really crazy is it can summarize hundreds of pages in seconds. So, instead of spending hours reading through files or documents, you can literally just copy the pages of text, then go into ChatGPT and type out TLDR. Too long. Didn't read, then just ask it to summarize in 2 sweet sentences for you. Paste all those pages of text and watch as this bad boy spits out the quickest summary you've ever seen. And what's crazy is just how fast it can do it. Another thing you can do is, if you're on your phone with the same web link, you can ask ChatGPT to summarize or explain something that went on in the news or old history, and it'll make it so much quicker and easier to understand. But that is just the start. There is so much more you can do with it. Like, it can teach you pretty much anything. Now, let's say you wanted to learn something really quickly. Well, instead of searching through Google or going through manuals, you can ask ChatGPT to teach you whatever it is you want. And amazingly, it actually gives you a really detailed guide and step-by-step on how to get started. It told me the chord, what fret, and even what string I needed to put my finger on to get started with playing guitar. And from what I tested, it also does a really good job at teaching you different languages and even certain software like Photoshop. And remember, what's totally wild is this is all for free. And what's also so crazy is if you're stuck on a project or some super annoying math homework, you can just put it into ChatGPT and ask it to solve it for you. Honestly, I wish I had this when I was back in school because it explains everything you need to know conveniently. And after all that, you can still then ask it to check your project or even grade your homework for you. So, for example, you could ask it to grade your paper out of 100, and then, bam, not only does it grade your homework or project, but it even gives you a reason as to why it gave that. So, I mean, you can turn ChatGPT into TeachGPT. But you can also turn it into DarkGPT. Okay, so of course, ChatGPT is not a real doctor, but it can help you get really healthy. And this seriously blew my mind. So, let's just say you want to get fit, healthy, gain some muscle, and maybe lose some weight. You can ask it for a detailed exercise plan, and honestly, it gives some great advice and an amazing plan to follow. And if this isn't detailed enough for you, remember you can ask it to get even more specific. But we can take this one step further and ask ChatGPT to make a weekly meal plan for you with a calorie allowance. And look at how detailed it can get. You can then ask it to take that meal plan and break it down into a freaking shopping list for you. And what really blew my mind is how it categorized all the different ingredients. Pretty life-changing. What you can also ask it to do is come up with a great recipe for you based on what few food items you have at home. So, for example, if you only have a couple ingredients laying around, you can ask ChatGPT what you can cook with these ingredients, and it'll actually generate different recipes for you. Or you can even ask it for a recipe on a specific meal, Like let's say you were allergic to nuts, or maybe you wanted a vegan mac and cheese. So, ChatGPT can turn into a lot of things, but it can also turn into you. It is so wild that it can even do this. But let's just say you copied a message or email that you've written and head into ChatGPT. You can ask it to analyze the message and learn to write like you. It'll ask you to paste in exactly what message or email you've written so it can learn from it. And once you do, it's absolutely insane and what it picks up and how accurate it is. For example, I have a casual way of speaking, I like to use these words, and I have some humor in my writing. Not wrong, this is kind of like making an AI clone of yourself. And it's actually pretty useful, especially when you need ChatGPT to write and reply for you. People will literally think you wrote everything. And if that doesn't blow your mind, then check this out. You can paste anything into ChatGPT and ask it to rewrite it in a person's style, like William Shakespeare, for example. This was honestly hilarious, and I also couldn't believe how well it rewrote it in his style. But what's even better is you can assign personas. And what's crazy is, don't ask me how, some personalities even give you better responses than others. Now, if all that wasn't enough, don't forget that ChatGPT can create completely original content. Like write a song for you about aliens that make bad jokes, create an Instagram caption, write your best math speech that you've only known for 1 week. The options of content it can create for you are absolutely unlimited. And I mean, you could even take a job description with all its information, pop that into ChatGPT, and ask it to write a 1-page cover letter for you. So if you think about it, when it comes to content creation, the sky is the absolute limit. And believe it or not, I actually used ChatGPT to write this entire video. I'm just kidding, but most of it. So if you think about it, this is only the beginning, and AI is only going to get better. So hit that subscribe button if you want to see some more cool things you can do with AI.